All right, so this is the architecture review meeting for fulfillment, and today is July 24th, 2024. And we were actually just having a quick discussion about the cadence of this meeting and how it was working out. I think probably mixed results so far with this particular session, but it's been nice to see some of the increased activity in session 3, since that's a new session. So um, I think in some ways it's been successful, and maybe in others, I don't know. The jury's out. So yeah, I guess we're open to potential changes, but we can also wait and see. Hey, Jerome.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah, we were just doing a quick check-in on the cadence of the meetings and how it was working. I don't know if you had any thoughts on that, but yeah, just a quick recap. I think it's been okay. I think it was good to add another session so that, session 3, like folks in India can contribute. I think they've had a few times where they've met. And the session 1 has still been active, or active enough. We haven't had as many like empty sessions, like where we're scrambling to find something. Yeah, so those are my thoughts so far. Yeah, so I guess if there's nothing else on that topic, Josie, you had one that you brought to the agenda.
Oh yeah, I was just curious how the work that you're doing to bring the Zora stuff into CustomersDot is going, because I keep encountering things in subscription management where I'm like, oh man, it'd be so cool if we had this already. So yeah, just interested.
Yeah, here, what I can do, I'm going to share my screen. Let me pull this up first. It is I actually just got done with my weekly update for this, so I can point to that and
Perfect timing.
yeah. Okay, so I'm actually going to link to this in the doc. But yeah, overall, it's been going well. It's slow going though. We've had the code for phase 2, and in phase 2, I guess for a quick recap, let me just do a high level overview. I go up to this level. So we have this epic, which is like the entire like aligning orders. Phase 1 was building out the models and validations and things like that. That's been complete. Phase 2, which we're trying to wrap up for this quarter, is implementing the syncing and backfill. And as we got into this, we added a few more things to this, like auditing to make sure that we aren't drifting from Zora. And we also added some background job to check for failed callouts and see if basically some safeguards, putting some safeguards in place. And so that's the overview here. The code is pretty much done at this point for this, but the slowdown has been rolling out the backfill and the different environments. That's kind of where we are right now. We just given that we don't have SSH access anymore, we don't run these things ourselves, and so we have a change issue for infrastructure to execute this in staging. We did it in staging ref since we still have SSH access there, and it worked fine. So that's kind of where we are at this very moment, waiting for the backfill to run in staging. Syncing is happening currently, even in production. So we have records that are starting to accumulate in staging and production. So we're nearing the finish line here. But once we get the backfill in place, then we can really do some testing to make sure that I think along with that audit job, that things are getting saved correctly locally, especially as changes are made. So yeah, that's kind of where we are here. Hopefully we can get over the the final hurdles with backfilling. Kind of curious to see how it goes in production, but we'll see. Hopefully it won't be too bumpy.
So would you wait
Eh,
for kind of a verification period before building any functionality off this, or?
Yeah, and the next phase, which is utilization, this will be behind feature flags for a bit. So
Mhm.
it's not like we can't make progress on this next phase while we vet out the data that has been saved. Yeah, I think kind of, let's see. I don't know if we want to get into the weeds too much here, but I think what we talked about is having a feature flag and start to build kind of like a class that knows what the state of that feature flag is and can request either local or remote based on it. And the two classes, remote and local, will resemble themselves so much that like they'll act on the same relationships. So like and a lot of these are already in place, but they'll have the same methods and um, at least so that we can easily switch back and forth in case there is a problem, because I think there is some, nervousness around like, what if there is something we haven't accounted for? Can we quickly just jump back to remote, rely on that until we sort it out?
That's interesting
Yeah,
because the epic that we're looking at is the performance of the index page epic. And there's a lot of optimizations I think we could do there if this was backed by a database instead of Zora's APIs, because there's stuff
yeah,
you can't do in Zora's APIs, like I think pagination would be quite hard,
yeah.
and any kind of filtering and ordering. So having the database models where we could just get that from using a database would be really cool. But if
That's true.
we're
And
not at
then
the
you
point
couldn't,
to, yeah,
yeah,
well,
it
yeah,
would be
then you
hard to
couldn't switch
switch.
between, yeah. But that page is so slow at the moment.
Yeah. Um, Perhaps there would be like a time where like once we felt comfortable with things locally, I don't know how long we would want to wait. At least a milestone, I think. Um, then we might feel comfortable like building directly off of local, and then we could start building in things like pagination. Probably makes sense.
Mm. I think even just ordering that page would be nice currently.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Mm. No, it's cool. It's an exciting project.
It is, yeah. Especially like I'm excited about getting into this utilization part, the backfill phase and like syncing. I enjoyed working on the syncing aspect of it, but once I got done with the code and had to deal with like the overhead of like rolling the things out, it kind of slows down. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about getting back into like um, utilization and seeing some of this actually get used finally.
With the current thinking that's in place, have you found it's pretty close? Is there much of a delay or?
How much of a delay and in what exactly?
Oh, so like you said there's some stuff in production that's syncing from Zora to the local copy. Is that,
Oh yeah.
are you finding it's pretty accurate or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I just did some spot checking so far, like and checking in like Sentry and Sidekick queues to see if anything was popping up as a problem from the sync, and nothing has come up so far. But yeah, it's as far as I can tell, like everything is syncing fine. Like the each subscription version and its related records are being saved, and um, from what I can tell with accurate data for each of the ones that we're interested in. Um, it'll be cool to see it once it's in place in production, like once it's been backfilled and then that audit job is turned on, then we'll probably feel a bit more confident about it. But I don't think we can turn that on until it is backfilled.
Cool.
Yeah, any other questions on this? Cool. Yeah, any other topics you want to discuss? Like how is everything going for you all? I know, Josie, you're working on sales stuff, right? Like getting things ready there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're at the moment we've done the migration of all the APIs from calling public APIs, and we've moved them into internal ones. We're currently having a bit of an interesting conversation with Jihu because all of their stuff happens much slower than ours, so we're not going to be able to deprecate and remove the old APIs until they've had time to catch up, which yeah, could take a while. And currently we're working on switching the auth over from relying on an admin's personal access token over to the JWT, which should make things like rotation and stuff easier because we won't need to change any data on GitLab. We can manage it all ourselves within CustomersDot, which is pretty cool.
It's interesting with the Jihu, like because they could, in theory, like not full latest until they're ready, right? So but that does block us from
Removing the old
deprecating, like,
endpoints.
yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have to keep the old authentication token method available as well, because if they're still using the admin auth, we're going to have to support JWT and admin auth on the same endpoints.
Yeah, that's a little surprising to me. Because
Can I
they,
help? Can I help speak with Jihu about this? Like, is
Uh,
this slowing
it's
us down
not
because we need to maintain it?
it's not impacting us yet, and we've agreed to deprecate the endpoint in 18.0, so we'll make it a breaking change. You can follow the discussion here. Oh man, it would help if I could type. The main concern will be because we've moved the endpoints to internal ones by basically copying and pasting them. Engineers on CustomersDot are going to make updates to the internal endpoints, and probably like that would be the whole change needed to support our version of CustomersDot. Meanwhile, if they're relying on an old deprecated endpoint, they're not going to get new updates. So if we start doing new functionality on the new endpoints, there's going to be drift between the old deprecated ones and the new ones that we've introduced, which might start to impact them before 18.0.
Got it. Okay. 18.0 is, I guess,
May
7
next year.
months away, or
Yeah.
I guess 10 months if we're okay.
But I don't think it'll negatively impact us as much as it will negatively impact them.
Got it. Okay. Well, thanks for the heads up.
All good.
cool. Anything else we want to discuss here?
On my end.
Cool. I'm going to stop the recording.